So this is my philosophy, and I'll share it again. I don't know if I've said it before, but I'll say it again if I have. There's no bad rides. There's no ride that, because like in life, I think that every ride has it's a purpose. It's something that you're going to get. The Bible says that all things work for the good of those that love the Lord. Even that ride, in your case, Ozzy, you learn something, right? You learn that it's not worth it to go abandon your family for the sake of a ride because you didn't enjoy the ride and you still had to go home and deal with your wife and the situation. So you learn something. In my case, I always say that any day that you're able to get on two is a good day. And if the ride turns out to be a bad ride, well, you've learned something too. In my case, I was coming back from Texas with Bam Bam, and Bam Bam had a problem. He had this I don't know, man. He fell in love with having crappy batteries, and he just had to always have a crappy battery. So we're riding, and all of a sudden his bike dies. And I'll tell you this, it's interesting because I believe that day we also got a ticket because we were riding through Louisiana, and I still have it on my wall. It was, I don't know, some parish over there. That's how they call their counties. It's parish. I'm thinking, why am I getting a ticket from a church? So anyways, we're riding, and all of a sudden his battery dies, and we're on the side of the road stranded. I spent the better part of about 5 hours back and forward trying to get a battery from the dealership. And it was, by the time we were able to fix it, we made it back to the hotel. I want to say, well, not back to the hotel. We made it to the hotel kind of about maybe 12 o'clock at night, and we had left early. So I was just so tired and desperate to make it to the hotel that I was, I was just out of my mind trying to get there and super tired, uncomfortable as hell. And that part of the ride, I would have loved to not have to experience that. However, on the flip side, it just gave me an opportunity because we had, on the side of the road, when I get there, a couple of one percenters were talking to Bam Bam, and these were big dudes. And Alan's big. He's tall, and these guys were taller. And we weren't, we were in a territory that's not ours. We don't even have sheep in that area. So it was interesting to see how Alan was able to navigate that. And, they gave us to go ahead, and they called people and they said, hey, listen, you're good. We've already called ahead. They know that you guys are here. They had already been, we had already put out the word that there was going to be sheep traveling all over because we were going to a gathering. But, our patches are similar to other organizations. So they probably saw him on the side of the road and were like, let me see what's going on. He explained to them, yeah, we're just, we're ministers and we're going back home. And they gave him, the assurance. Now you're good. We got anybody out there that know, they're gonna know that you guys are out here. So what a blessing, right? But I'm sure that yeah, I remember Alan was like, bro, I didn't know, I don't know, I don't even know what I said. I just said some things. But what a blessing to know that, we don't have to fear.